Alright, it's John Black, Super Chemist. We're here talking about the UN. How did the elites, the elite mafia, take over? That's what I'm going to call the WEF, or the elites, the deep state, the Federal Reserve Bank people, I'm just going to call them the elite mafia, because that's what they are. They're just a mafia, a bunch of families, like in New York, where they made a commission of these elite mafia families. But anyways, how did the elite mafia get control of the UN? Because the UN is obviously, it's woke, it's, what's funny, if you go on their websites, you know what I mean, if you go on the UN website, I don't know, actually I don't know if it still has it, but years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or whatever the hell it was, when I looked on the EU, the European Union, and the UN, the United Nations website, both of their websites said that they want 100 million illegal aliens to move to the United States, and they wanted 140 million, which is funny, they had the same exact number on both websites, you know what I mean, meaning that they are together. But anyways, 140 million illegal aliens to move to Europe, okay? And then the WEF, they said, they have annual conferences that they televise globally, okay? And they say with their own mouths, with their own words, the mouths come, words come right out of their mouths saying, yes, we want 100 million illegal aliens to move to the United States and 140 million illegal aliens to move to Europe. And then they go into how they need workers, and, the old people are now outnumbering the young people, and they go into paragraphs and paragraphs trying to explain how they're not evil, and they're doing it for, they're doing it because they want cheap labor, okay? They want cheap labor. That's why they put everyone on old people money, right? Because they want us to think that the old people outnumber us so much that they're a financial burden, and we have to have young people come in, even if they're rapists and murderers. We got to have them in here. No, we just have to stop paying billionaires that retire. When Bill Gates retires, we need to not give him $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year. That's what we need to stop doing. It's not that there are too many old people that we have to take care of. It's there's too many old people that don't need taken care of, but we're still taking care of them. And they used to be rich, and they still are. They're living in mansions with butlers and maids, and yet they're getting 10 grand a month on their Social Security. Yeah, everyone who has a mansion, or you know what I mean, if you have a $300,000 house, you should have to you can get on SSI, or you can get on old people money rather. But every $1,000 they give you, they're going to put a $1,000 lien on your house because you don't deserve. It's for old people, man. Anyways, I got off the subject. We're supposed to be talking about the UN. How did they get control? Okay, if you watch my World Bank videos, there was 6 parts. You would already know. The World Bank goes into a country. They're just a loan sharking machine, just like the Federal Reserve Bank was a loan sharking machine, a perpetual debt-making machine that the elite mafia uses against the United States. That's what the Federal Reserve is. Well, the World Bank is the same thing, but they do it a little bit different, right? Okay, they go over to a third world country and they force them to take loans. They'll go into a third world country. They're like, oh, you don't have no water pipes, hooking up your whole country. We're going to come in, we're going to lay them pipes, water pipes, we're going to have a water plant there to clean your water, and we're going to, you know what I mean, we're going to give you that infrastructure, but we're going to loan you the money for that infrastructure. Of course, the third world country is like, hey, fuck you, man, we can't afford that shit, and that's only going to help the rich people. It's not really going to help the poor people at all, man. But they say, well, we're going to kill you if you don't do it. And that's what they do. They either kill them or they go along with the plan. Sooner or later, someone's going to go along with the plan that they don't have to kill. Right? So they borrow the money, right? And in the country, They get halfway through the making this plant and all these pipes and digging all this stuff, and then they run out. They can't pay their bills. That's the whole plan. They want the country to be in debt. It's a perpetual debt-making machine, the World Bank. This is how it works. So the infrastructure usually stands there collecting dust, not even working because they didn't. But they already borrowed money to start it, right? Right? But they can't pay their bills. Can't pay back, right? So now, they got them by the balls. You ain't paying. You owe us money. You owe us money. We didn't finish it, and that plant doesn't work. But we had to spend money to build what we build, and now you owe us money, and then they got to pay, and they can't pay. The interest just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. Right now, there are third world countries right now that 50% of their money that they collect, their taxes and their this and that, 50% of it just goes to pay interest on these World Bank loans. Their entire economy, 50% of it goes to pay the loan shark. So then they got to do stuff. They got to pay, just like a loan shark. You got to start doing crimes for your loan shark guy when you can't pay your interest even. Can't pay the principal. You can't pay the interest now because now it's built up. You got to start doing stuff. Go rob that bank for me. Go take these drugs over here. Go pick those drugs up. Here, kill this person. And then the crimes get worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? Starts being a little favor, and then it ends up you're killing people. So that you can not so you can get out of debt, just so you can pay your interest. So that's how they get military bases in and blah blah blah. And they also tell them to take all their tariffs away. Why does the World Bank? They take all their tariffs. They say, no, high tariffs are terrible. We want low tariffs. And I'll get into that when we get to tariffs. But why do the elites want low tariffs? And why, a better question is, why do poor people want low tariffs if the elites want low tariffs? I mean, common sense, if you're poor, whatever the elite want, you want the opposite, obvious, because everything they do is to screw you over, right? So this is one of those thingies. They loan shark. Now they're like, hey, you owe us money. You have a place on the UN. When we vote for stuff on how the money's spent for the UN, how NATO is used, what we do with our policies, and etc., 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 you vote the way we tell you to vote. So the World Bank just does that to every third world country since they've been invented, since the 80s, since the 70s or whenever, right? Yeah, they got a lot of third world votes. They got a lot of third world votes for the UN now that they own because those third world countries owe them money because their dictator, their corrupt president, gave in to the World Bank because they knew that they would be shot if they or a lot of times they die in airplane accidents. Coincidentally, after they send in the economic hitman, the economic hitman whose job is to say, hey, play ball with us or we're going to kill you. Yeah, they admit to that. Yeah, we sent in some economic hitman. We threatened him to kill him. He didn't want to do it, so we said, okay, well, then we're going to kill you. I'm leaving. When the people, my friends are coming back, they're going to kill you. And the president would say, yep, okay, go ahead. But we didn't send anyone. Sometimes they do admit it. But once in a while, they'll be like, but we didn't kill him. No, we didn't do that. 9 out of 10 times they actually admit that they did kill them. The CIA or whoever did kill them. But I don't understand why that one time here and there they don't admit it. But anyways, how do they get the UN to do what they do? Would be woke and communist and Nazi, hating Jews and hating Israel. How does that happen? Oh, the World Bank comes in, uses its loan shark mafia elite tactics, strong arms the country, and steals their vote, their UN vote. And now they have all the UN votes. That's part of the plan. See? It's moving towards globalization, to where the elite mafia, now they own the UN. Now they just have to make that UN more powerful. They need to... So the United States needs to get out of the UN and admit that the UN is the elite mafia. They have been taken over by the elite mafia, and all the third world countries are bowing down to them. And then after they got them to bow down, we'll get into how they get the countries. Well, you know how they get the United States to bow down. You know, they pay off all the corrupt FBI, DOJ, CIA, and they come in, tell Facebook, tell, Twitter, and tell Instagram, you don't let these Biden laptop, you get rid of all them videos, saying that it's true, always, anyone who says Trump's good, get rid of those videos, and all this censorship. Yeah, we know how they do it. So that's why if you watch my videos, you have to watch the fiat money one, the Federal Reserve Bank ones, which is like 3 of them, 3 of the fiat ones, and 6 of the World Bank ones. Because they all tie in together on how everything is intertwined. Like how the UN is intertwined. How do they get control of the UN? Through the World Bank. How did they get the World Bank? Bush's family. That's why when I get done with these little fast videos here, the last one is going to be about tariffs. The most craziest thing is how poor people and middle class people think high tariffs are bad. I don't want prices to go up because I'm a total moron. Yeah, if you're poor, unless you're the elite, you want low, you want high, super high, as high they can go tariffs. They can't be too high. Well, that's not true. They can't, But yeah, we want high tariffs. Okay, I got crazy there. We want people to import stuff, but we want high tariffs. I'll get into, unless you're an elite piece of garbage, unless you're the type of person that wants to kill 100 million people, having war after war after war after war after war after war like we've had in the last 100 years. Unless you're those people, those elite mafia people, unless you're them, you don't want, you want high tariffs. You don't want low tariffs. Low tariffs are terrible for everyone except for the elites. Which is why when they take over a third world country, they say, get rid of all your import tariffs. We want to be able to import anything we want in and take over your entire economy. Destroy every one of your businesses so a mega mass production corporations can come in and take over your entire economy. Not only do you have to give us half of your economy's money for interest to the World Bank, the other half is going to our corporations. For that we took over your entire country, and you're going to vote in the UN and the way that we want. Everyone don't know it, and no one cares. But whatever. Let's see how much time I got here. 14 minutes. Fuck it. That's all. I can't babble more about this. Let me see on here. Maybe see. But yeah. Did you notice that the WEF, right? The EU. The UN, they all say the same exact stuff on their sites and on their annual global televised conferences. They all say the same. They all want us to eat bugs. They all want us to ride bicycles. What's funny is they want us to eat bugs while they eat steak. They want us to ride bicycles while they get in limousines that are 10 times what they need. You know what I mean? They don't want us to even fly in an airplane while they're on private jets going all over the place to get a coffee. I need a coffee in France. Let me go get in my private jet. They fly private jets in to talk about how we make too much CO2.